Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our board meeting today, Wednesday, August 24th, 2022. I call the meeting to order at 5:30. At this time, I will continue to roll call. Mrs. Lucas, Mrs. Garcia, Mr. Ocampo, Mr. Mercado, Mr. Jimenez present. Next, we have the flag salute. Mr. Connie, can you please lead us with the flag salute?
Please stand. Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Connie. Mr. Connie, do we have any spotlight items today?
There are no spotlight items tonight.
Okay. Now we will adopt the agenda. Need a motion to adopt the agenda?
Second.
Mr. Ocampo, Mrs. Gilchrist. All those in favor, motion, all those in favor say aye. Motion passed by 4 votes. Thank you. Presentations. Presentation, educational services, Director of Educational Equity, Program Manager of Extended Learning, implementation of the program of the Phoenix program, Eastern Union School District.
Madam President, Jimenez, board members, Superintendent Cook, Cabinet, also union staff and community. My name is Maria Alvarez and I'm the Director of Equity for the district.
My name is Rosa Carranza. I'm the Program Manager of Extended Learning. Good evening, everyone.
Oops. So we're here with exciting news. We'd like to talk about the grant that's called ELOP proposal. Tonight, there's no action, but we'd like to just give you a presentation. At the next board meeting, we will be putting some items for your approval. So ELOP stands for Extended Learning Opportunities. And we thought of a practice phrase for the program to say LSL School Club. So what is Extended Learning Opportunities Grant? Tonight, we are going to only focus on goal number 1 and 3. We'll come back later for goal number 2. So goal number 1 is to provide funding for after school. And number 3, it's access to all students. And the goal of the grant is to focus on local educational agencies with the highest concentration of targeted disadvantaged students. So if you see the unduplicated count, we have 7,495 students. And the grant for ELOP this year, 2022-23, we have to offer 50% of our population, which is 3,748. Eligibility, again, is for all students, and the program will be offered to all students through 6th grade.
You might be asking, how is this different, or if this is part of the ACES program? This is not replacing the ACES program. It's in addition to the current ACES program that we have. There's a difference between these two programs. The ACES program has more restrictions with the attendance. And this ELOP program would not have any restrictions with attendance. This ELOP program also follows 11 quality standards in order for us to provide a quality program for students in the after-school program. These are 11 of the standards that you see on this slide. And when we bring our partners, we are using these standards to be able to bring in high quality programs as well. This is a proposal of our schedule that we are wanting to implement for this Alisal School Club. We would have 3 rotations for the students, and we would have 3 cohorts. One of the cohorts would be TK Kinder. The second cohort would be 1st grade through 3rd grade, and the last one would be 4th grade through 6th grade.
So if you look in your packet, there's an Alisal School Club, and there are some ideas that we brainstormed of some partnerships. So the first one is the Mindful Check-In. That's with the Mindful Life Project that moves with Forza, Math Academy, Got Beats. So all these are different partners, and there's a variety of ideas that we have on the table. We want to make sure that we go to our parents, to the schools, to also get the input from principals, from staff members, teachers, so that way we can make this program more enriching. And we may even find that some have connections with other partners that we're not even have on this list. One of the other things that I wanted to note is that currently we have 100 students attending ACES. Our goal for the ELOP is to have 75 per school additional students. So if you see here in the budget, this year we are allotted 18 million. And so we have chosen 4 off of that list to begin. So Forza would be bringing dance and beats program. The beats program is a program where students are able to use the musical talents and create their own music. We are also looking at partnering with Lever. Lever provides an interactive curriculum. And we are hoping to have a Math Academy for all schools starting this year. Mindful Youth will be through the Mindful Life Project. They will be making videos for Monday mindfulness, and our teachers will partner with them to facilitate in-person mindfulness activities. And then also working with Irene and Vargas to see if we can partner and see if we can get a staff to come and support students with healthy choices. If you look at the second handout where it says after school extended program, the after school right now, it's about almost 1.2, and that we're proposing. As you can see, we have the winter intercession, spring intercession, Thanksgiving, and other intercessions that we're going to be doing. So that's more to come. Staffing. Our assistant principals will assist with the oversight at each of the sites. We're looking at hiring 30 certified Math Academy teachers for after-school services, again, at all the sites. And then we are proposing 4 classified managers for this year, 12 extended learning specialists, and 4 ECE teachers to support our students in TK and Kinder. Because we want to make sure that this program is high quality and rigor, we have decided that we're recommending 3 cycles. So as you can see, we group each school into 4 groups. So cycle 1 would be in the fall, cycle 2 would be in the winter, and cycle 3 in the spring. And this would just be for this year. Next year, day 1, we have to service all schools 180 days. So with that, we're open to any questions that anybody may have.
I'd just like to make a few points before we have the board ask questions. Just as you saw, the Standard Learning Educational Program is funded at the $18 million level. So what we just described is sort of the down payment we're making, first program that we've put together. And this program will basically expand the availability of after-school activities to from 100 per school site to 175 per school site. And let's face it, there's plenty of money. If half of the students at each school want to participate, we can support that too. There are other programs that we'll be talking about with the board that we'll be coming back with later on. We're going to be talking to First School about this tomorrow. We would like to have a sort of field trip on steroids program that would start with in years past, the district has sent many district students to the senior tour event that took place at Pebble Beach in September. We haven't done that for 5 or 6 years, but under this program, this would be an event that we could hire buses, take as many kids as we can get interested in this to Pebble Beach for an outstanding event. Hopefully it won't be too cold, and they'll be able to see how a professional golf tournament takes place and see a lot of notable professional golfers. But anyway, we are going, this is one part of it, the 30 days, 30 non-school days that we didn't address during this presentation. These would be sessions and weekend trips that we are going to put together between now. Well, actually, we're going to put them together over the next 4 or 5 weeks so that we can make a big dent in that $18 million. And with that, Ms. Andre, do you have anything else to add?
This is a great opportunity for all our students. So with ACES, we've had, like Mr. Koenig mentioned and Ms. Alvarez, a few students participate. This would be open to all our students, including our TK and kinder students. And so that's one of the things where it's a big opportunity for all our students to engage in some enrichment activities.
Now, any questions? Ms. Gillies?
Yes, I do. What a great program. And please, the questions that I ask, doesn't mean that I am not for the program because it sounds very exciting. But sometimes because we have $18 million, I mean, I know we have to spend them. I'm just, my questions is because I want to know the answers. And what would you say the percentage of all these, because this is new, this is the first time I've seen it. Thank you for presenting all these things that are going to be happening. What percentage would you say is academic, or does the percentage have to be academic? I know there's going to be a focus on math, but that's it, is math, right?
Correct. So the program is a 9-hour program. So we can include 6 hours of the academics during school time. So the additional 3 hours are enrichment. But we want to continue giving that enrichment to our students, looking at our data and math. We need that support. So one of the biggest things that we heard is that it has to be something different than what they're doing in the regular school day. So that's why using a different program and also bringing in our certified teachers to do those interventions. And that's why we're running it all year. If you noticed on the last slide, we're going to be at each school site for 50 days and move, but the math is going to be going all year.
Okay, so it's going to be integrated into the school day then also.
Well, the 6 hours, we can count that as their academics, and then the extended is the 3 hours. So that's where we're here today to speak on behalf of that. So that's not it's sort of, we put it together because it has to be a 9-hour day for students.
So then, so if it's not restricted to any students, any student can join. So why aren't we focusing on getting the ones that are doing really bad in math to go instead of maybe the students are doing great in math and they're going to ace it and don't really need the help in math?
We're going to encourage all students because, I mean, even if they're doing well, we can accelerate them. And even if for that extracurricular of like for Beats, you know, constructing their own music, it should be for everyone. So I think, I know it's really hard because sometimes it's so restricted with ACES here. It's for all students and it's open for anyone who wants to join. The grant says we have to offer it. It doesn't mean that we need to service all the students. We just have to offer it to all.
Okay, thank you. So did you see, so how many students per site?
Right now, we're looking at about 75.
75 students. And how will those be selected, or is it a first come, first serve?
Yeah, it's first come, first serve. And
Whoever signs up first.
And if we need to open more sections, we can do that because we have the funding too.
$18 million worth, right? And then also as far as I'm sorry, I have a 3 or 4 questions here. Thank you for your patience. And so the 30 teachers, the 30 math teachers that are going to be our teachers that are going to be paid extra to do that.
Correct.
And have you had interest from those math teachers or anybody who can teach math?
Yeah, we haven't posted, but we're hopefully posting in the next few weeks to see if there's interest. And it would be an hour and a half, 3 times a week.
Oh, okay, that sounds great. Thank you. And also it says the assistant principals will oversee the program. So they'll be at their own site when the students are participating anyway. So will this extend their day though?
No.
No?
They're really like the oversight, but that's why we're recommending the classified staff, the 12 classified staff, so they would be able to support the assistant principal. So the assistant principal would step in if there was, maybe a parent that needed to talk to them or something like that. But they're there in case something happens.
And so the classified staff would also be additional classified staff?
Yes.
So would that be our own classified
Yes.
staff that would be offered? Is it a stipend? Is it a per hour? Is it overtime?
It's a position that it's a 5-hour position that we're proposing.
Okay.
And so we're looking at creating a manager position for classified, and then the specialists, we already have that in the district. So we're going to start off with the specialist.
Okay, thank you.
Can I add that our current after-school program ends at 6? This new program would end at 5:15. That would meet the requirement of the 9 hours.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. And then my last question. So attendance there's no restriction on attendance. So those 75 students, if they want to go 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or 5 a week, that's totally up to them.
Yes, we're going to highly recommend to the parents that it's really important for them to participate because the enrichment is there. And I have a feeling that once the kids start getting involved with all our outside agencies, they're going to tell their parents, no, don't pick me up early because it's going to be really
That's
fun
great.
for them.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
In addition to that, the ACES program ends at 6 p.m. This program Want to participate in ACES because their students up at 5 or 4 or 5.
It's a long time.
Program. It's not possible with ACES.
Wow, that
And
sounds
what's
great.
too is that, if this program fits them better, then it'll open up slots for ACEs for those parents that really need to have that service till 6 o'clock.
Mhm. For ACEs, is there a waiting? There is, so
At
maybe
any
this
school
will
site,
help.
there is a waiting list for that.
Waiting list, yeah, so maybe some of those kids.
what we're hoping.
It sounds great, you have the answers to my questions. We'll look forward to learning more about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question? Mr. Coppell?
Yeah, I was curious, the 18 million, is that for both of the programs or just for the ELO?
Just for ELOP.
Was it just for ELO? Okay. Yeah, they do sound like fantastic programs. It should be exciting, I think, once it gets going. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Roxanne?
Okay, so I'm a little rusty. Thank you for that, opportunity to hear what the plans are and, yeah, I was just wondering, okay, so it is only after school. Is there any, opportunity for a morning program? And I'm just throwing that out there because when I had kids and they were small going to school, I was on at 6 in the morning to watch them for an hour. And actually that program was at the school they were in. I was paying additional money for them to be there because I had to be at another site. And so, from 6 to 7:30, I paid an hour for both of them to be at the site. And, I can't be alone out there, with with a lot of parents who work and we have to be somewhere else. And the school hours are so restrictive, 7:30, 8:15, whatever time school starts. It's hard to the job starts at 8. And either, I remember as a principal, I would have kids being dropped off at 7 with no supervision in front of the school. And I'm just wondering if this is an opportunity to open up some kind of programs for the morning. Now, as a former farm worker, we'll throw that out there too. I mean, their hours are crazy. And then you're actually, getting up at 5:30 and, dropping the kids off somewhere. I don't know if that's even a possibility, but I mean, we've got all this money and I mean, we can't pretend that they're not being dropped off because they're being dropped off. Kids are being dropped off before school starts and they're standing right in front of the doors. So I don't know if that's even being considered. I noticed that you did tell, you did write down here that, your principals are being, asked to, oversee. And I'm wondering if there's there's maybe a teacher in charge that can help out as well. I don't know what you call them at Alisal in their school district. The leads. It's just support because former administrator here, and I'm like, okay, one more thing on my plate. You're adding to my plate. Yeah, I love all the programs. I love them, but adding one more thing to a vice principal's plate. Yeah. Even though the programs are wonderful, it sounds like this is, a step in the right direction. I can spend millions. I mean, I'm very good at spending money. But yeah, if science camp, I don't know if that's even a possibility because I know every school always has problems with, some kids can go, some kids can't because they didn't raise the money. And I'm not really sure if that's the Alisal thing where, they do science camp.
We did speak to a representative yesterday regarding science camp, and it was recommended that they're going to check into that, but because it's overnight, because of the funding and the hours, they weren't sure. So we are looking into that. And as far as your question about the morning, we are looking at that, and I think it's going to be really important to survey our parents.
Yes.
And so we'll be presenting this to our, DLAC and, all sharing with principals tomorrow. And so the more that we can publicize and get input, then that's what's going to make our program stronger.
Very good. Thank you so much.
I'd just like to point out, this is our This is the first baby step that we're taking in addressing this program. It does allow for before school, after school, and intersection activities. This is our first program. It's going to cost about $1.2 million. We'll have other programs that we'll bring to the board later on.
Okay, I just wanted to add my 2 cents in. For what it's worth, my 2 cents. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, no more questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You want to continue? To the public comment concerning items on the open session agenda and on all non-agenda items. There will be a 2-minute limit for individuals and 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no setting of one's time to other individuals. Individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on open session agenda item and or all items may do so at this time. 5:56. Erika Arriola.
Buenas tardes, mesa directiva y superintendente. Buenas tardes a mesa directiva y superintendente del distrito Lizán. Mi nombre es Erika Arreola. Soy trabajadora comunitaria de los primeros 5 del condado de Monterrey bajo la red de defensa de la primera infancia. El día de hoy estoy aquí para introducirme a todos ustedes porque vengo representando a la Fundación Doctora Solís, que es un instituto de políticas para la mujer, y hacemos localmente un cambio de pólizas a nivel local para la vida y pues la educación de nuestros niños chiquitos de 0 a 5. Estoy muy orgullosa de estar aquí, poder estar con ustedes y esperando pues poder colaborar juntos en un futuro proyecto acerca de incrementar las registraciones de los niños de preescolar. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, Superintendent of Alisal Union School District. My name is Erika Arriola. I'm an organizer with a network of defense for the early childhood under the supervision of First Five of Monterey County. I'm also a volunteer for Mamás de Salinas Abogan. I'm here representing in Condado de Monterey County and the Institute of Policies for Women. Just introducing myself to see how we can collaborate with the district to enroll more children in early learning programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Gabriela Silva.
Buenas tardes a miembros del concilio y superintendente. Mi nombre es Gabriela Silva, miembro y colaborador con Padres Unidos BAC y Mamás de Salinas Abogan en coalición con Brave Beginnings, y ahora estoy colaborando, al igual que mi compañera Erika. Soy parte del equipo que representa el Condado de Monterrey por el Instituto de Políticas para la Mujer, doctora Solís. Sabemos que la pandemia detuvo muchos proyectos y muchas acciones en beneficio de nuestros niños. Todo donde los más afectados siempre han sido las familias primerizas, donde no saben cómo navegar ni tener la guía para inscripciones al darle la dirección a la educación de sus hijos. Antes de pandemia, tuvimos una feria de recursos para inscripciones para los niños de preescolar, donde se esperaba ayudar a las familias y recibieran el apoyo para recibir estos servicios, donde el año que se cerró por COVID-19, muchas personas de la comunidad estaban preparadas para hacer este proyecto, la cual no fue posible, pero ahora por eso estamos aquí, para poder apoyar y ayudar en seguir esta iniciativa y proyecto que estuvo expuesta a nivel estado. donde podremos darle a las familias estos recursos y continuar con su apoyo para continuar cada año con el compromiso de elaborar esta feria de recursos, donde muchas familias se beneficien y a la vez podamos ser el ejemplo para otros distritos del condado. Ahora continuar proveyendo estos servicios a nuestras familias y comunidad. La necesidad sigue siendo prioridad, donde necesitamos el apoyo de todos ustedes y el compromiso para continuar cada año estos servicios que necesitan nuestras familias y sobre todo los niños, tomándolo como prioridad. Esperamos apoyo. Gracias.
Good afternoon, Superintendent Koenig and members of the Board of Trustees. Thanks for giving me this space. My name is Gabriela Silva. I'm a member and contributor of Padres Unidos, BHC, and Mamás de Salinas Abogan, in coalition with Bright Beginnings. Now I'm part of a team that represents Monterey County and the Institute of Women Policies, Dr. Solis. We know that the pandemic stopped a lot of projects and a lot of actions that benefited our children. The people most affected have been the families, first-time families when they have first-time children, when they do not know how to navigate, or they don't have guidance to sign up children for schools. Before the pandemic, we had a resource fair to help families sign up for preschool. This was a place where we tried to help families and they received support. That year was closed due to COVID. Many people in the community are ready to take this project on, the one that was not possible. But here we are again to be able to help and to support with this initiative and the project that was showcased at state level. A project where we can give families the resources and continue bringing help like we've done every year, with a commitment to bring this resource fair to many families who benefit, and we also can be an example for other districts. We also want to continue providing these services to our families and the community. The need is still there. It's a priority. We need the support, your support, and your commitment to continue bringing these services every year. These are services that our families need, especially our children. Please take it as a priority. We ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And then 603. Association comments, Association. School Employee Association, Chapter 577. No comment. No here. Okay, now, board members, superintendent reports. Mrs. Garcia.
Okay, I want to congratulate Steinbeck School and all the other schools who had their back to school night. I was fortunate enough to attend back to school night at Steinbeck, and I noticed a lot of happy parents. It was full of people, students, the principal, Ms. Barraza, greeting everyone. It was a wonderful sight to see after having parents off campus for the longest. It's nice to see the flood of parents coming in and congratulating the teachers on a job well done. I was able to meet and be in classrooms that day and getting all my days because I'm a fourth grade teacher and I have to be doing that too, back to school night. But yeah, I was unfortunately not able to go to all of them, but the Steinbeck one was amazing. So thank you to all the teachers and the admin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I also attended a couple of back to school nights. As you may or may not know this, we all have schools assigned to us. So we try to make those, 2 or 3 that we have. And Unfortunately, Sanchez is on my list, but I couldn't find the parking. Because I went to MLK and I should have just kept that parking, which is a good thing because that means there was a lot of parents there. That's not necessarily something negative. So I thought, well, I could go to one of the other schools and I really enjoyed, I went to Chavez. And I believe that's, I don't know, Mr. Mercado represents that school, but I really like that idea. Is it Chavez, you? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Mr. Jimenez? So, the point being that maybe we can consider at some point so that if anybody cares, board members can go to different schools or to as many as we could, because I know I saw some admin. I didn't get to see Mr. Koenig, but Mr. Koenig had just been there and we're back and forth. And we try to go to as many as we can. So if for whatever reason, it can work out that, you know, maybe just 3 or 4 one night so that more of us can visit. And I think the teachers enjoy it. At least they tell us that they do. It would be nice. But congratulations to all of those schools. It was really well organized. And thank you.
Mr. Aponte.
We are hosting the Soledad Unified School District tomorrow. I think that was set up, right? I believe with Mr. Koenig. And so they're coming over to visit our central kitchen tomorrow at 10 a.m. So any board members who would like to accompany us, you know, you certainly are welcome to come. So Soledad Unified School District has a desire to build a central kitchen, and that's why they're coming to check out our central kitchen. If you remember, not so long ago, they came out to check out our Family Resource Center, and that has proved really well because the Soledad Unified School District has approved their, how do you say that, architectural plans for their Family Resource Center, and either they're already building or they're going to start building pretty soon. So I think that this small collaboration that we've had with Soledad Unified School District has been beneficial to them. Kind of what we've gotten from them was the Playworks program, because we had our staff check out their Playworks program, and that they like that, and so now we're using that in our district. So you know, it's been kind of a nice, successful little collaboration. Hopefully it'll continue you know, in the months or the years to come. So hopefully some of you people can come out and join us. Oh, there will be lunch at I believe there'll be lunch at Monterey at 12 noon. So the food should be good. So come on out. Anyway, thank you.
I did this opportunity to thank my entire community, especially those who live in the Maya Park. 58, I was a teacher at Association. Association. Chapter 577. Municipio con Comité de Relacionados Señores. Mamás de to continue to make our San Juan School District work together with my colleagues. I also want to thank Mr. Williams from Dual, Program Manager, who is in charge of the Alexander Academy, and George Harris, and Educational Services. Facilities of the proposal for all students who find prefer their children to take classes remotely. I congratulate all the staff for participating in this new opportunity for all Alexander students.
Thank you. School is moving forward very well. As we've stated before, one area of concern that we do have is declining enrollment. Our district enrollment declined by about 350 students between last year and this year. And I just want to make the point that much of this enrollment loss could be made up by the expansion of transitional kindergarten. The 3 years ago, the last year we had normal We have 252 students in transitional kindergarten. This year, only 175 students are enrolled, yet based on the population of kindergarten students, we should have 357 students. There are a lot of students who are eligible for transitional kindergarten. TK is the best environment for students who are eligible. The eligibility is if the student has their fifth birthday between September 2nd of 2022 and February 2nd of 2023, we can enroll them right now. If you have a child turning 5 between September 2nd and February 2nd, 2023, please go to the nearest school and enroll them in transitional kindergarten. Thank you. What's that?
Oh, but
All right, I just asked Mr. Koenig if you have to be potty trained, or are you doing that too? They have to be potty trained, right?
Have to be-
Potty trained?
Oh, yes. They should
Okay,
be potty.
because I'm just thinking of someone that told me that their child is 3 or something, but they weren't potty trained yet. And I was just asking, sorry.
Okay. Item 5, consent agenda. Staff requests that item 6E is for consideration under the consent agenda. Consideration. The consent agenda. from 6E.
So which item was that? B as in,
16?
oh, okay. Thank you. I'll make the motion to, accept the consent agenda. With, it's taking it off. Okay, without item T.
Let me see. That's the end. Some questions?
Yes, thank you. So I do have a question again. The questions are just because I want to know the answers, not because I'm for or against anything. It's the consent agenda 6 on the West Ed leadership coaching. I did have some questions there because this is it's a 15,000 leader for 6 leaders, and it could be a when we have coaching like this, do we often mix principals with the district leader? I would think it would be different coaching, but I'd like to know a little bit more on that, and then I have a couple more questions.
So even if we do have a district leader that receives a coaching, that person would be individually coached by someone assigned to them. And it's usually, like I said, we'll bring in a partner and they'll have their individual meetings.
Okay, thank you. And then, so speaking about those meetings, it says that there will be by video conferencing, phone, email, unless otherwise stated. So whoever is, so it'll be principal or district leader, and they're going to say, I want to be coached, or are they assigned?
So this is the second year we have this type of coaching. Last year we asked for volunteers because it was such a new concept to get coaches for our principals. And so this year even though it's volunteer, some of it might be voluntold.
Okay, which would make sense because we have some new folks, not only in the principal, as vice principals, also in district leaders, I guess in directors, I'm not sure. So that's great. So one of the things that were they asked, or have maybe the last time, or was it video conferencing, phone? I mean, that's a lot of money. I would think just like the district tells our students, or just like the state tells our students, it's time to come back to the classroom. It's time to do that one-on-one because of lost learning, because of virtual. It works better in person. So with adults, does it work better with video conferencing, phone, email, and all of that? Or do we have, since it says here, unless otherwise stated, does the district have the, can you tell them if the leaders, which are you all, would say we want it one-on-one? I would think someone would learn better that way, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
I think that last year, the video conferencing actually worked because a lot of the coaches that are coming in are retired superintendents, and they live throughout California. So it was less of a cost and for them and for us to pay if there was video conferencing. So we are actually going to be partnering up with them for instructional leadership training as well. So now that's going to be in person. That this year we're going to make that in person. And so one of the things we've been discussing with the facilitator, the person we work with, is maybe on that, if there's someone that comes in on Tuesday, staying in Wednesday and doing some of that in-person coaching.
Okay, well, that satisfies my questions here because I know you probably have to get the buy-in of those, but I think it's good because there's new people and they need, like we all do when we first get a
Yes.
job.
And it's always good to have a mentor.
Mhm.
Yes. Mr. Koenig says we need to lead by example. I have a mentor who I've partnered up with. And I think last year it was not a struggle to get people to volunteer. And it was a lot of our new principals and even more of our seasoned principals that were attending the coaching sessions. And they appreciated those sessions and the feedback.
Thank you.
Another question? Ms. Garcia? Please.
No, I thank you, Ms. Gilpas, because I was actually right there with you with WestEd leadership. I'm so thankful that we are offering site admin and opportunities for coaching because, like Ms. Gilpas said, we do have a lot of new people and they don't know what they don't know. So they do need some help and some support. And I think coaching is one of the best ways to help them. They're in a non-invasive way. And if I was a principal, I don't mind the hybrid kind of thing where, it's sometimes online and sometimes in person. I don't mind any of that because sometimes it's a convenience thing. But anyway, thank you for that.
Okay. No more comments, no more questions. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consent agenda by 4 votes, 1 absent. Okay. For business services. Motion to bring submission for rate cuts.
So move.
Mr. Cooper. Yes. Consultation.
Aye.
Releasing agreement for
Second.
Nicholas.
Aye.
Okay. Vote 1 absent. Okay. Education services. Sufficiency of materials to curriculum and instructor. Open at 6. Close at 6:20. No.
Aye. Aye.
I need a motion. It's not the same of, the currency,
Second.
So, we're entering into an MOU with Monterey County. And so are parents now aware that, you know, is truancy back, like, late to school? Are parents aware about how truancy happens? Do you know, or? Okay, so my question is this, so child's not coming to school and they're, not sick, but maybe someone in the family member's sick and they're not sending them to school. After 3 days, it used to be that you got a letter, and after the fourth one, you got another letter, and then the fifth one, you're sent to the district attorney's office for an abatement kind of a meeting. And if you're 30 minutes or more late in the morning, that's also counted as a truancy, 30 minutes or more. Are parents aware of that? That used to be the case. I don't know if parents are aware of it. I mean, have we been letting them know that we're going to go back to checking their attendance and making sure they're coming to school on time?
So yes, so back to school night, it's explained to them. Any parent, any principal newsletter that goes to the parents is explained. And usually it's the same students. So those families know the process. Last year, even though there were still some COVID issues or disruptions, we were still following up with the families and making sure we re-engage them. So it wasn't as it was before COVID, as strict,
Yeah.
but we were still following a process to making sure they still got their letters. The system still was working the same way.
Okay, and who's responsible for those letters on campus? Is it the school secretary that?
The Cliff Fives, yes.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed by 4 votes. Okay, future agenda items. Any board member would like to add items to the future agenda? Something to add? No? Okay.
Mr.
Oh, okay.
I heard Ms. Garcia whisper here, not at this time, but we do reserve the right to add at a later time. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Do the future agenda items that were on there from last time, are they there somewhere? I know I saw them on the minutes. They're there. But they didn't make it to this area. So do they just stay there and?
We do have a plan. I think we do have a presentation at the next board meeting on one of the subjects that was brought up at the last board meeting, which just escapes me right now. I don't know if you remember. Oh, the bilingual programs, right, which was the board expressed an interest in having a presentation on the bilingual programs. And so for the meeting that takes place at in the middle of September, we're going to have a presentation on the bilingual programs. We're also going to have a presentation on the the unaudited actuals, the budget, the final budget report for school year 2021-22.
Okay, well, thank you.
Ms. Gilbert?
Yes, Mr. Koenig, what happened to our school presentations? We haven't had them on the agenda lately.
Well, we had the school presentation in June, and we will have more school presentations. I was trying to reduce the number of presentations to 1 or 2 per board meeting, but we will get more school presentations on the agenda.
No more questions? Okay. Public comments, position agenda items only. There will be a 2-minute limit for individuals on public comments and 20-minute limit to total public comments. There is no savings of 1 time to every individual. Individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on closed session agenda item will do so at this time. Six 26. Ending time 6:27, and we will now adjourn the meeting to close session at 6:20.